months ago, my mom was driving me to swim practice. As we turned onto a busy street, we were held up by a couple in a shiny black Range Rover parked in the middle of the road. A well-dressed man got out from the Range Rover and he sauntered to the back to get his golf clubs. And he did this for about a good minute. So my mom and I waited as he held up 4 cars, rummaging around and fixing his clubs. When he finally looked up, my mom gave him a look. Well, to be exact, she went like this. So he comes right up to us. Well, right up to me, as I'm in the passenger seat and my 9-year-old sister's in the back. And he says, "You're all just fucking Asian, so go and fuck back off." Obviously, we are all in shock. My first instinct is to look back at my little sister, and I can see the tears welling up in her eyes. My mum is shaking with, I don't know if it's fury or shame, or just because our kids had to hear that. I feel my stomach twist and drop, and it's mainly for my mum because she looks at us and then back at him, and I think she feels vulnerable and defenseless because she doesn't know what to do. And I don't know why, but I feel embarrassed and then immediately ashamed because I know we did nothing wrong. My mum pulls herself together and rolls down the car window and says, "You're racist," to which he laughs at us and walks onto the golf course. "You're all just fucking Asians, so go and fuck back off." I often think about how it took him 10 seconds to say this to us, and yet his words had consequences. Firstly, my little sister was so upset. Living in a multicultural society, being Asian was never the most significant part of her identity. Like me, she had never experienced racism before, but unlike me, she didn't even know that it existed. She does now. She sees the difference where she had never done so before. As for me, I had just been identified as an Asian. Well, as a fucking Asian, to be exact. And that was strange to me because I had always identified more with being Canadian, a girl who loves to read, to listen to music, and to swim. But that's not how he saw me. He saw me as nothing more but Asian. And with his 10 seconds of words, he pushed my Asian identity past being a girl, past being an athlete, and past being a youth, right to center stage. And it's kind of sad because he almost pushed my Asian identity past being Canadian. Because now I think about my Asian identity all the time, and it's in my everyday life. When I'm on the bus after reading news reports of racist attacks on public transport, when I read racist graffiti, and I identify as one of those people that they want to send back home. But then, how does that work? Because I am home. My sister's still a bit nervous to go out, to the mall, to the grocery store. So I tell her what I have learned. Our identity grew stronger through this struggle. I know his words sucked, but we now know ourselves better. We are more convicted in who we are. I am still a girl, an athlete, a youth. I am still Canadian. But we are also Asian, and we have thought more about it because of this. I tell her, our identity only gets stronger through challenge. And also I say, next time, we'll just run him over. Thank you.